Hi, happy to see you. Crochet any interesting stuff lately? This is Auntie Nat's Crochet. Glad you choose this video. Allow me to teach you how to crochet lovely and cute stuffs. I have hundreds of videos, so do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. It will mean a lot to me. And today I'm gonna make flowers, another type of flower. If not mistaken, these are known as Irish flower. So far I've made with three different yarn. This is with cotton yarn, just a normal 5-ply milk cotton yarn. This is made with acrylic yarn. The yarn is still soft, but when you touch it, the surface is kind of rough. It's not like, these are the type where you wouldn't use it to make clothes, because I don't think it'd be comfortable to wear, because it's kind of rough on the surface, whereas cotton yarn is kind of smooth, but it does not hold the shape of the flower really much. I'll show you later what I mean. And this is made with lace yarn. Now the problem with these three yarn is, what I encounter is, lace yarn, it will curl according to the type of stitches that I made. So sometimes all this, it curls, it just close up like this. If you do not mind, then it's all right. It just close up like this. So you either have to press it down with iron or something heavy, or you can actually use starch. There's kind of starch spray. When you spray on it and you iron it, it will kind of hold its shape like this. If not, it will start to close up, start to curl. And this is cotton yarn. Cotton yarn does the same too. Occasionally it will still close up like this. See, it will close. So you really have to go and press on it before you make your photo, or unless you're gonna sew it onto a bag, and you make 2 stitches here, so the flower will open up. So depending whether if you mind, if you do not mind it close up like this, then you let it be. But with acrylic, I find that if you make flowers with acrylic yarn, it kind of open up nicely, because you see, the yarn is kind of bit like rough on the surface, so it doesn't like really close up. Even though you see it just stays, it doesn't really close up that much, and you can shape it nicely anyhow you like. See the middle part here, because it's a little bit rough and a little bit tough, so it's like a mini wire thing. So it will kind of hold its shape. So in my opinion, I think I prefer to use acrylic yarn or flowers, and not so much on, but lace yarn. I did a lot of flowers with lace yarn, but lace yarn do look nice because it's smaller. The flower don't come out too big, but it will curl up like this. After over time, when you hold it, it will all start to close up. See, then you have to open it up one by one, or you have to iron it or starch it, like I said earlier. So it's your choice. I'm just showing you the difference between acrylic yarn, cotton yarn, lace yarn. Now this is lace yarn. Cotton yarn looks like this too. It looks exactly like this, but this is acrylic yarn. The surface is a bit rough, but it's soft to work with. But when you touch it, it's not really that nice to touch. This is lace. If you are using lace yarn to do the flower will come up smaller, which is nicer, I would think. For lace yarn, flower will turn out nicer, but the curl part, it will curl up. So you have to use starch or iron it. And for this lace yarn, I'll be using a 2.5 mm hook. But when I'm using cotton yarn or acrylic yarn to make flowers, I will be using a 3 mm hook. So this yarn, it turns out like this. This one turns out like this, equally as big. And you can see this one holds its shape way better. I mean, so long, it is like a wire thing, so no matter how you pull it down, it will stay down, see? And this is lace yarn. So it's really up to you which yarn you're gonna use. But for this tutorial, I will be using acrylic yarn and a 3mm hook. Okay, now let the fun begin. Okay, we're gonna start by making a magic circle. I'm gonna curl it around my 2 finger and make a cross, and you turn it over. You pull up a loop and you make a knot. Or you can make a magic ring anyhow in your own way. So once you have a magic ring or magic circle, you do 8 single crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 single crochet, and you pull this. Okay, let me do that again. Okay, now you notice this V shape here. You know, all this V shape here, you will have 2 loops. So normally what we do is when we do single crochet or double crochet, we will put through the 2 loops. But this time round, I only want the front loop. This is the front loop. Excuse me. This is the back loop. Okay, this is the front, this is the back. So this round, I am going to work only on the front loop. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to chain 6. Oh, sorry, I have to, this is the last single crochet into the magic ring. You go to the first stitch first, you go to this first stitch, take only the front loop, and you do a single crochet. So after you're done with the single crochet, you chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you have 6 stitch here, I would work on the bum side. If you notice this stitch, you have V shape here, and you would have a bum side here. I see all this bum. I'm going to work on the bum side. So you go to the second stitch from your hook. This is your hook. This is your first stitch. This is your second stitch. Turn to the bum side. Oops, let me do that again. Turn to the bum side. And you do a slip stitch. All on the bum side, all the way down. All the way to the end of this whole stretch. And you should have 5 of it because we make 6 stitches. We turn, and then we start from the second stitch from the hook, so you only have 5 bumps here. And you will have something like this. Okay, so now you go to the next stitch. Same thing, only the front loop. You're gonna do a single crochet, and again chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn to the bum side. Second stitch from the hook, Normally when you turn to the bum side, this is the only first bum that you can meet. You can't really go to the other bum, so not necessarily need to count like 2 stitch, second stitch from the hook. I mean, once you turn, you can see there are 5 of these. Okay. Oops. Let me do that again. You slip stitch, then 2 slip stitch, 3 slip stitch, 4, oops, and 5. And again, you go to the next stitch, and you go to the front loop and do a single crochet. So you're gonna do this all around, and when you do this all around, you should get 8 of this. Okay, 8 of this by the time you reach here, because we started with 8 single crochet, so which means every single crochet we're gonna make 1 of this. So I'll come back to you once I'm here. Okay, you should have 8 of this. You see, you have 8 of this. Now this last one here, once you're done here, you go to the back loop. I mean, you go to the back, you turn it to the back, you can see there's this 1 row of back loop here. Yeah, I'll go in here. I'm gonna hide this tail a bit inside here while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna do 2 single crochet into each of that back loop. So it's like a single crochet increase. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. You know this part here, and you see, and you did this part here. So you're gonna do 2 single crochet in each. So now I've done 4 beads. 5 and 6. 7, 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. You just forget about this part here, you don't have to worry. We're gonna shape it around later, so you just pull it down so that you can see this stitch here. 13, 14, 15, 16. Let me see, did I have 16? Because we have 8 stitches there, so once you have this, you should have 16 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 16 stitches, meaning increase, single crochet increase in every single stitch. So now this tail here, I can just cut it off. Oops, just cut it off so that it won't be in the way. And we'll continue with the next row. So now I'm gonna sing you. Okay, now let you notice that between this part here and all this, between all this and this, you will have a gap in between here, right? So now because this is the last one. So you go over the last one, you go over the last one, and you check in between this increase, single crochet increase, and all this chain 6, there's a gap there, and when you put your hook in, you can see there's actually a stitch there. You have one here, one here. You should have 8 of it, because remember we started with 8 stitches. One here, and that is what we're gonna work with. So you're gonna do a chain. Okay, I'm gonna single crochet into that stitch first. This is the last chain 6, and we start to do the increase. You jump over here, go in between the gap here, and pull up one of these. Okay, then you do a single crochet. Okay, can you see that? Between this and this. And now after you do the single crochet, you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you go back here in between these two. You will grab one of these, bring up the loop, and do single crochet. And again chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again go find the next one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just press this down, make sure this goes upward, this press down, and you will find this stitch that is in between. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you continue one round. So by the time you come back to this first loop here, you should have 8 of it, 8 sets. Okay, now you should have 8 of these. Okay, now let's count. You see this? This is the, oops, wait, let me hold it this way. This does not count. This is the back. This is the first loop. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is number 8. So number 8, how are we gonna end it? You go to this first loop here. See this loop here? It's chain 5 space here. You're gonna go in. You do a single crochet. Next, inside the same hole, the same loop here, the same space, you do a half double crochet. Then you do a double crochet. Then you do a treble. Treble means you yarn over twice. You're gonna put through 2 by 2. And you're gonna do double crochet, half double crochet, then a single crochet. Now this makes 1 set. So you should have 8 sets of it. So let me show you one more time. You just jump to the next space, chain 5 space area here. You just jump into here in the hole here. You do a single crochet, a half double, a double, a treble, another treble, a double, a half double, and a single crochet. So you're gonna look like this, and this one is gonna cover up here, so you won't be able to see this hole later on. So let me just show you one last time, then I'll come back to you once I'm at the end here. Okay, let me show you one time. This is single, half double, double, treble, treble, double, half double, and a single. Okay, and you should have 8 sets of it. Okay, gonna look like this, and the last one here you will find as if the hole is kind of big because it went up. So no worry, because once we connect to the back, this will go down like this. So now we're gonna work at the back. You turn it to the back of the flower. You will notice this row of single crochet that we did, the single crochet increase. So there are 16 here. So I'm going to work only on the front loop. This is the front loop, and this is my first stitch. So I'm going to go to this first stitch here, the front loop here. I'm going to do a slip stitch. So once you join it to the back, see the hole kind of go down. So the front now looks like this. It looks lovely already. You can stop here if you want. This will make another type of flower. You can just stop here. Okay, so now I'm gonna continue with the next row. Once I slip stitch to this first stitch here, I'm gonna chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So once I have 11 stitches here, I'm gonna turn to the bottom side here and do slip stitch all the way down. You should have 10 of it. Oops, let me do that again. You should have 10 of these. So you're gonna look like this. Now notice that when you do on the, I did single crochet on the bottom side. When you turn here to the front, you can still see the V shape, right? This row here, this middle line here is for the single crochet from the top in the bottom side. So you turn it to this. I hope you understand what I mean. From here, you turn back to the front. You will see this is the actual V shape, and then we work on the bottom side. So now I'm going to work on this side. I'm going to work on this strand here and go all the way back down. So which means, you see the flower is facing here when I'm doing this. Now I'm going to turn it the other way, where the flower will be facing the opposite way. So you're going to turn this piece here back to that V shape. And you see the initial V shape here. You will get confused, especially for beginners, when you see there's two lines here. Remember this line here, this is the V shape from the top. And this second line here is the slip stitch that we did on the bum side. So now turn it to the actual V shape, like this. Then go to this first stitch. Now you notice, you just take note where the flower faces when I'm doing this. You're gonna do slip stitch, slip stitch, and slip stitch. And normally what I do is I'm gonna count back from the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I do not have 7 stitch here, which means maybe I start too high, I miss one. So don't really matter about the bottom here. You can have 3 slip stitch or 2 slip stitch, because sometimes you might count wrongly or you might go into the wrong stitch. So long that the top part here you have 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now remember to work on only this side, only this top strand, not the bottom strand, because we are going to work like this way and this way down. So now I'm gonna build this petal here. This first stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet, then another single crochet, then a half double crochet, then a double crochet, and a half double crochet, and a single crochet. And you would reach the tip here. The tip here, you just do slip stitch, chain 2. Now the problem is, you can see 2 lines here. Work on the inner one. Hope you can find it. Okay, so you slip stitch onto that first stitch. Now the second stitch, I'm going to do single crochet. The third stitch, I'm going to do half double crochet. Then I'm going to do double crochet, and then half double crochet, then single crochet, and single crochet. So you see that anything on the left is exactly the same as the right. So this is slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet. That's why you have this petal here. And now by right, I should have 3 slip stitch here. 1, there's 1 hidden here. 2. Now the third one was kind of hidden because I remember we crossed over to this side. From the other side we crossed over this side, so there's 1 hidden here, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use this last stitch at the edge here and do slip stitch, and you go to the next stitch. I mean, once you pull, you can see this is taken. Now go to the next stitch, only on the front loop, and do a slip stitch. Then you go to the next stitch, you do a slip stitch, and again you're gonna build another of this. So all in, you're gonna have 8 sets of this. So slip stitch means it's kind of like we skip 1 stitch for this, you know. We did one of these, slip stitch, and now again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Remember this V shape here? This is where we're gonna work our way, you know, from here to here. And so now we turn to the bum side and work on the bum side. You just do slip stitch all the way down. You should have 10 of it. And remember to turn it this way. So when I'm doing this, you just take note what happened to this flower, whether it's facing here or here. So I'm going to turn it this way so that this first petal faces here. Just now it was here. Now it faces here. Okay, take a look at this. Go find that V shape. It's kind of obvious because when you turn it here, you can't find any V shape here. So this is the only V shape. So you go to that first stitch if you can, and do a slip stitch. So, oops. A slip stitch should be this one. There. Slip stitch, slip stitch. You should do 3 slip stitch, but sometimes because you can't see the last one here right at the bottom, then you just do 2 slip stitch. So long you have 7 stitch above here, 2, 4, 6, 7, then you're alright. So this first stitch here, I'm going to do a single crochet, single, half double, double, half double, single, and the last remaining stitch here, just do a slip stitch. Then you will reach the tip. So once you at the tip, do a chain 2, go find that first stitch. Now can you notice this faces this side? That's how we work our petal this way. So now go find that first stitch and do a slip stitch. So this is how the front look like, and this is how the back look like. This is the slip stitch that we did on the back. If you do not have this and this, means you're doing it wrong. Because if you pick the wrong stitch, you will see one line here like this. Because if you notice, there are 2 lines here. So if you pick this one, you will see this line in the middle. That's why we do not want that line in the middle. We pick this one, the inner one. So this is slip stitch. Now I'm going to do a single crochet, half double, double, half double, oops, single and single, and balance 3 stitch. You should do slip stitch, and like I say, you can only find 2 because this one been covered when we transfer from here to the far end, so this is covered. So I'm going to use the side here as the slip stitch. Then you go back here, go to the next stitch, only on the front loop, slip stitch, and next one, next stitch is also a slip stitch, and you start to build. And by the time you come back here, you should have 8 of this.